Hello. How are we? I look forward to your soothing voice at 7:30. Well, it's time to turn off. Tell me why then. I'm afraid to say. I'm very much looking forward to I'm in a cutscene. I'm gonna talk over it. Why did I do that? Why did I do that? Yeah, that was hideous. I'm so sorry. Bum, 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 bum. Descend. Yes. What's this? Eh? Oh. Oh, that was where I could have bought the ship mind. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. I remember. But I need to go sleep. In my nice new house? Oh no, I don't have a new house yet, do I? Ugh. I'm very much complete active scenes. What? What? There's active scenes? Oh, of course there is. Forgot we had to do all this business. Wait, Ankita? It's not who I thought it was, not gonna lie. How am I? I'm doing well. Yeah, I found my glasses, which I'm pretty happy about. My my like clear rimmed ones, and I found them like wedged in the mechanism for my fold out sofa. I don't know how that was physically possible. You're in big trouble. But yeah, so yeah, that's good that I found them, I guess. Anyway, enough about me being a dumbass and losing stuff. You spot Ankita on the track to the farm stack. She has a box on her shoulder and is working her way down the slope. She sees you as she approaches. Neither of you speak for a moment. She looks tired, pale. Her hair is tangled and clumps of dirt cling to her armour. You both eye each other. Stay silent. Sleeper. She takes a deep breath. I'm sorry for what happened. Truly I am. She looks down. I'm sorry you ended up in the middle of this, when all you've shown me is kindness. She rubs her face. I'm sorry. For that sleeper, that... She stares at the floor. I'm sorry. She looks up and away, not meeting your eye. It's okay. She nods, then looks up at the stars. I've never... She sobs herself. Thank you. Ankita shifts the weight of the box on her shoulder. Been preparing for... She grimaces. Look. She sighs. Can you come with me? It's easier if... If what? You see it? She finishes. It's just down the way. Ankita leads on down the dirt path between the pillars. There is a wind passing through the greenway, a quirk of the air currents the biosphere maintains, and it ruffles the leaves softly. The sound makes the silence more obvious, more complete. You try not to think about the last time you were here. You have been trying not to think of it for the past few cycles. The image of the sleeper, sprawled, twisted open, connected to the ship mind has been hard to forget. You realise Ankita is leading you back there, back into the drum at the centre of the stack. You pause, trembling a little at the threshold. She turns. What are you doing? She looks at you with empty eyes. What needs to be done? You stand on the threshold and look up at the tanks, green and wet, some glowing with flickering glowing lamps. You look down at Ankita, suddenly so small under this hulking ruin. The smallest she has ever looked. She places the box down. Follow her in. You follow Ankita into the stack, through a low tank, entering the drum at ground level. It is just as beautiful as you remember, but it barely touches you. Instead you check the apertures of the tanks for a glint of a weapon, or a shadow among the moss. Ankita stops and you look down. The mossy island at the centre of the tank is clear now, the equipment cleared away. In its place is a mound of dirt loosely covered with moss. Ashton's rifle stands straight, half buried in the dirt at the grave's head. I buried them together, Ankita says without turning. You both stand there in silence for a little while. You think of questions you could ask about Ashton, about the sleeper. You stay silent. You realise that those questions don't matter anymore. The water drips, the moss trembles. You both stand in silence for a while longer. You both feel it, life creeping back in, the silence ending. Ankita shifts her weight and then starts to walk out. You follow her, suddenly eager to be back out in the open space of the greenway, to be away from this place forever. You stand outside and breathe the fresh air. You stare at the green leaves, and the stars wheeling above them. That's it, says Ankita from somewhere behind you. You try to think of something to say, but can't. Ankita puts a hand on your shoulder. You turn back to her. At least take this. She forces a handful of cryo chits into your hands. It's what I owe. She looks at you desperately. You look down at the metal bars, ugly little things, you think. Take the chits. You take the chits and turn without saying a word. You continue up the track and she does not follow. As you walk up the rise, the wind picks up and the leaves shudder. You walk faster, trying to outpace your anger. The chits are heavy in your pockets, and you hate them for reminding you of how little a life is worth. Yeah, not the best ending. Ooh, I have 2 upgrade points. Okay, do I have any scrap? I do not think so. But can I buy scrap? I can buy scrap. Oh. That didn't do as much as I was hoping it would. Oh. Wait, which is it? There's some called Hard to Kill. Oh. I didn't know that. That was cool. Okay, what was I doing? I was doing stuff up here, I think. That's Fang. Fang. Repair your unit. Emphasis, the Girol Cap guy. Bliss. Fire. Oh yeah, okay. Right. Okay, so we need to wait for that to... Oh, I know Bleached, I think. Where's Rabias? Aha! Aha! What? Monsange. They're like an indie rock band of fun. Oh, nice. How did you make it crispy? And also describe the tofu and its components. I'm gonna make a curry tomorrow. No, maybe I'll make it tomorrow night. But yeah. It looks, it's gonna be good. That's all I'm gonna say. You're gonna be jealous. I'll tell you about it when it happens. Anyway, right. As you say your goodbyes to the other enforcers and walk back through the low end, a chirping catches your attention. Sorry, I don't know why I was so confused by chirping. In a quiet corridor away from the main thoroughfares, someone has stuck a small recorder to the wall with suit sealant tape. Written across the fluorescent tape is one word: sleeper. You peel it away from the wall. As you do, it triggers some kind of improvised trip switch. Sleeper, Speen's voice crackles through. I've seen you with Yatagan members. Are they holding you captive now too? A high whine. I'm sorry if I have dragged you into this. Do not trust them. Something is happening within the gang, some kind of power struggle. You cover the speaker a little, their voice too loud in the quiet corridor. I will come soon thanks to your efforts. I've located most of their properties. At the right time. A pause. I will see you soon. Don't give up. Remember our deal. The recording cuts out. You stare at the recorder, processing what you've just heard. Hearing Speen's voice again opens up something inside you. An SNARP employee. Do they know that I know? You struggle with a mix of concern and distrust. You throw the recorder into a nearby waste chute as you leave the corridor, still unsure who to trust, and head quietly out of the low end. Ooh, not good. Where's my bed? Okay. I firstly coated the diced tofu in seasoning, olive oil and cornflour. Ah, you got in the cornflour hype. Very nice. Just repair myself before I forget. While it was heating, then I added tofu and mixture. Medium heat, turning and tossing occasionally. It was so banging. Oh, very nice. Congratulations on your tofu and its excellent taste. Uh-oh. Only a little jealous. Nice. I did the thing. Right. This time you meet inside Rabia's office. Although now that you've seen it, office seems like the wrong term. You find her stood in an almost bare, shadowy unit, midway through a sequence of stretchers. There are 2 low stools and a terminal in the corner, but it seems that most of the space is taken up by a heavy punching bag, rubber matting and a stack of weights. When Rabia turns to greet you, you realise she's missing an arm. The prosthetic she usually wears is set in a cradle near the terminal, a web of coloured wires running to it. Update, she says, noticing you look where her artificial arm usually is. Nothing to worry yourself with. Sorry, Don't be. I'm sure you've been on the receiving end of more invasive stares than I ever have. You both settle on the stools, Rabia crossing her legs on top and sitting straight backed. She had told me you have been doing the rounds, collecting tithes, patrolling the ward. She smiles. Some of the enforcers are impressed, and I hear you handled a few difficult circumstances. Nicely done. I wanted to see for myself. She raises an eyebrow. See what for yourself? If the stories are true. I see. Rabia flexes her neck side to side, and the conclusion. Still deciding. Well, sleeper, Rabia says teasingly, please keep us updated on any progress. She smiles a thin smile. Joking aside, I know that for you, life on the Eye has been a struggle, but I hope we can do something about that from here on out. Though some of our members may not see it this way, I know you too are a refugee. She looks at you solemnly. That is why you've come to us. Enough, Rabia. Sabine's voice cuts through the conversation. I'm tired of listening to your affected nobility. They cross the room, Rabia's baton in their hand, the end lit with sparkling electricity. Rabia looks between the two of you. I suppose this ambush was another cooperation between you two. She looks strangely unfazed. Stay silent. Sabine pauses, thrown off by your silence. Rabia takes this opportunity to act. She leaps from the stool and, fainting past Sabine, grabs the baton and twists it inwards. She is by far the stronger, and she pushes Sabine to her knees, plunging the crackling end of the baton towards her chest. They freeze there, Sabine struggling to keep the crackling baton from their skin. Stop. Then you support them? Rabia asks you, her eyes not leaving Sabine. Your loyalties are so easily swayed. I thought you were more than Yannick's attack dog, Rabia. Sabine spits back. Are you not able to think for yourself? Rabia holds the baton strong, and for a moment you think she's about to hammer it down onto Sabine's chest. But after a painful wait, she throws Sabine down instead, then spins the baton in her hand, thumbing a switch and shutting it off in a single move. Rabia, explain. They both look at you, each still catching their breath, as if they had forgotten about your presence. Explain what? How the moment I call my enforcers will come... Sorry, let's start again. How the moment I call my enforcers will come down here and take them away. That sentence doesn't make sense, right? How the moment I call my enforcers, they will come down here and take them away. Okay. Rabia cracks her neck. You were lucky I didn't kill you. I would have had every right, she shouts, the anger a release of tension more than a threat. Sabine lifts themselves a little, bruised from the fall. They roll onto their side and cough. Rabia gives them some space, sitting back on the stool. Sabine props themselves up on their elbows and fixes Rabia with a hard stare. You have something to say? Rabia taunts. Say it. This is your final opportunity, because after this, she laughs, no coming back. Hey, the reading, that was not my fault. That was the game having typos. What's the point? Sabine breathes heavily. She does not listen to criticism of the great Yataghan project. Rabia collects herself. Speak. She folds her arms and waits to be convinced. Sabine takes a breath, organising their thoughts. They go to start, pause, then decide on another approach. Eventually, they say it. Yannick is a traitor. Rabia immediately flinches, her eyes going to her prosthetic arm, her muscles clenching. But she writes it out, more eager to prove Sabine wrong than she is to hurt them, at least for now. When I came here from SNR, they glance at you, gauging your reaction. It was Yannick who was the one of the first to support me, to look after me. I should have known then, but I was naive and afraid. Sabine turns to you. Sleeper. They take a breath. I know that I should have told you I worked for SNARP long ago, but I thought you would abandon me, and you're my final friend. Sabine is no wife, Sabine is partner? What's you'll know, what is the term for, so you have husbands and wives, but for somebody that's non-binary, what is the term? I guess is it just partner, is it? Or is there a... Anyway, I'll let you come back to me. Life partner who I am committed by marriage. Yeah, that, okay. What you should know is that I left SNR because I was running for my life. I leave documents on the sleeper program, on the illegal and immoral practices it relied on to the press. SNR wanted me dead, and I fled as far as I could to this refuge at the edge of the surrogate systems. Sabine stops to collect themselves. What does this have to do with Yannick? Rabia interrupts. The sleeper knows you're SNR. I told them. And while you hide beneath the cover of being a whistleblower, you and I both know you worked on the sleeper program. Yannick told me as much. Sabine's face falls. It's true. They glance at you and then away, ashamed. They lift their head. But it is Yannick, not me, who's in the pocket of Esnarb. Rabbi flinches again. I can prove it. He made some kind of deal to keep me here. To tie me up in debt. To lock me away in exchange. Rabbi slams her hand on the desk. Just tell us. Just tell us. Tell us, for God's sake. In exchange for those, Sabine finishes, nodding towards Rabbi's prosthetic arm in the cradle. He's been using Yataghan forces, using you, as test subjects for Esnarb technology. I have the data to prove it. He's been bringing them in under the guise of stolen shipments, and having me fit them, knowing each one is capturing data and sending it back to its makers. Rabbi's fixed expression has started to fade. Sabine produces a slate. It's all here. Thousands of hours of usage data, failure rates, error dumps. These are untested implants, Rabbi. They could short out, fail, cause cascading failures across a person's body. And they have. Sabine suddenly looks incredibly tired. I thought the error rate in the units was down to them being stolen or modified. I've tried to fix hundreds of failures in my time here. Not all of them. They stop, unable to continue. Rabia closes her eyes and breathes in. Then she opens them again. She holds out her hand to Sabine. Show me, she says. Later, much later when you leave, Sabine is still taking Rabia through the manifest and usage data. Both of them crowded around the terminal as Sabine takes Rabia through each layer of Yannick's betrayal. As you leave, Sabine catches your eye, and something passes between you. Something like a thank you or a sorry, or some other expression that communicates both sadness and hope. Nice! More upgrade. Oh, I'm doing so well. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me go. Okay, great. Thank you. I appreciate your What? Who the hell is... Oh. Oh, Morit. This is Morit. Wait, is this Bliss's brother? They look really similar. Hey! A quiet voice greets you as you leave. Sleeper, it's me! Sorry, I had to do a quiet voice. Sleeper, it's me. Do I know you? Moritz, he pauses. I work for Bliss? He rubs the back of his head. You're not an easy person to find. I don't really have an address. Moritz holds up his hands. Hey, no judgment. It's cool. You both stand there for a moment, each waiting for the other to speak. So... well, Bliss needs you. A job just came in. A really big one. She's asking for you to come up and help her out. He nods sagely. I'll be right there. Nice, yeah. Moritz stands there for a little while, unsure if the message is delivered. I've got it. Cool. He looks around. Bliss just likes me to do a thorough job, you know? He rubs his hands together before burying them in his jacket pockets. See you, Sleeper. Moritz ambles off down the corridor, kicking at a filter cap on his way out. Time to head to Bliss's blade then. Yes. Yeah, he's a cool character, I like him. I like the... I don't think there's any characters in this yet that are like slightly shy. They all seem to be pretty damn confident, so it's like a... Is this it? Oh yeah. Yeah, his outfit's cool. What? Why can I only do one? Why is it unavailable? Huh. Oh. That? Oh, right, yeah. Okay, fine. Ah, right. Okay, right, so that's that bit done. As you both wait in the airlock for it to cycle back to the bay, Bliss thumps you on the arm. It's games like this that make me wish I did illustration. Yeah, this would be very cool, being able to like draw these characters and stuff. Nicely done, Sleeper. We cleared that contract no problem. She stretches. Once we're back in the bay, we can check the payment has come through and divide it up. She stretches. Feels good. The airlock clunks, and the lights flicker. And a moment later, you're back in the bay where Moritz is at the racks, trying to figure out where the mess of tools Bliss left in her wake should be hung. Hey, Moritz. Moritz looks over his shoulder. Sleeper. He spins a wrench in his hand. Looked like clean work out there. He nods respectfully. I like his eyes as well. You look over at Bliss, who's already gliding over to her management console. She twirls a little as she crosses the cavernous bay. No one you've ever met moves as well in zero-G as she does. It's like she was born into it. Shit. She slams a fist onto the console. Shit. What's up? I can't even... Bliss closes her eyes. Come here. Bliss calls you over. Look at this, just look. She spins the terminal screen and you see the details for the base account. You see an entry for the Ember's wake, a repair fee paid in full the moment you finished up the job. But then directly after, the whole amount was transferred back out into an unknown account. What the hell? This is the work of my ex. She punches the terminal. He must have coded a backdoor into the system before he left. She rubs her forehead. There's no way we can... She pauses, thinking. Moritz, throw me that wrench. What's that for? Moritz spins the wrench across the bay. Bliss smiles. This. Bliss brings the wrench down on the terminal hard. You flinch backwards as a hail of computer parts spill up into the bay in a glittering arc. Fragments of screen, memory, sections of the casing. When Bliss is done, she clips the wrench to her tool belt. Try backdooring your way into that, you shit. Moritz drifts out from his hiding place among the racks. Bliss, he says tentatively. You want me to... He looks at the arc of fragments drifting around the bay nervously. Bliss shakes her head. No, she sighs. I've got it. You could get me a new terminal, cheapest you can find. Cobble one together from the pieces at the auto exchange if you have to. Can I help? Bliss glides over to a panel by the wall. Don't worry. One of the first things I had installed when I was spec'd out this place was a cleaning sweep. She flicks over a plastic cover with a huge red button. Watch yourself. She hammers the button, and a row of laser emitters unfold from the bay walls. They start crawling their way across the work area, frying the debris as they do in pulses of burning light. Bliss smiles. It's that or just space the whole bay every few cycles. Well now, Bliss sighs. We keep at it. The cleaning sweep buzzes and crackles as it works its way across the bay. That account wasn't everything. I'm not that stupid. Once Morris gets back, I'll secure it and flush everything else. She flicks a nearby piece of debris into the path of the sweep. Clean break. Then we take another contract. That's it. She shuts off the sweep as it reaches the end of the bay. I'm in. You better be, Bliss laughs. Because there's no way you're getting your investment back unless you are. She rubs her forehead. I'm sorry, Sleeper. I know you worked for this too. But next time won't be the same. That's okay. She smiles. See you in a few cycles. Morris will let you know. She winks and kicks off into the bay to finish cleaning up. Well. Damn those hooligans and their stealing our money. Or something, I don't know. Is this dude not done with his damn ripper worms? Oh wait, am I supposed to be doing something? Bag? Bag. Where is Feng? What the fuck? Maybe he's gonna grab me before bed, the creep he is. Wait, where do I? Oh, where's the commune? I need to sleep. Uh-oh. Starving. I actually don't know where Feng is. Isn't he, like, here? Is it this? The wastes? No. Interesting. I have no idea where he's gone. Oh well. What's the thing? I have to do something for this person as well, right? Or do I? Crack Conway. Slot the first ripperworm. Oh! Wait, have I not done that? Ew. Whoopsie. Cool. As you slot the worm, a thread jumps up out of the facility. It unspools in front of you, releasing its data like ink in water. Sleeper. Feng's voice crackles through, moving in. Nodes, then ports. A whir of interference. Slot the worms. Timer starts now, stay safe. Thread dissipates. You're on your own now. I am. I think that's what I've got to do, but I don't have the... Oh, well, that's not ideal. What, has she been ill just today, or...? done. Hey! Woo! Yay! What's that done? Oh, kitty! The stray hops up onto the work surface and looks out of the unit's small window. It doesn't acknowledge your presence. It just sits there, beside the tray of crumbled crackers, staring out at the low end. What is this cat's story? Are there more on the station? You haven't seen any others in the low end. But in this vast megastructure, that means little. There could be a whole colony of cats like this in the Warrens. You look at his sleek, dark fur and sharp eyes. It doesn't look ragged. It looks at home. In fact, its presence in the unit makes you wonder if this is the Stray's apartment which you're squatting in. Watch the Stray. Though the Stray is looking out of the window at the station, you feel its attention is on you, waiting for you to spring your trap. You remain relaxed and watch as something flickers in its eye. Perhaps the reflection of a passing ship. The Stray settles a little and starts eating, picking at the broken crackers. You don't remember ever having been this close to an animal. It triggers something in you, a recognition of life, totally unlike your own, but still somehow connected, parallel, even interwoven. The Stray licks crumbs from its fur. Do you like it here? The Stray flicks their tail at the sound of your voice. It's hard to imagine the Stray liking anything, or at least being vulnerable enough to admit it. But the Stray's pleasure at existing here in this place shines through its every sinew. It is not that the Stray is always happy on the eye, but that the Stray is engaged by this place. It is alive here. You turn your eyes to the window, the one the Stray is looking out of, and you both watch the stars and the ships together. You feel something pass between you and the Stray, kind of acknowledgement of each other, a sense that each of you might share something with each other, a point of connection. Then all at once the Stray yawns wide, hops down from the unit and brushes along your legs, and then it's gone, out through the unit door, back out into the corridors of the low end. I want to feed the cat again. Oh, that did nothing. Oh, wait, when did I get 2 upgrade points? Oh, just now. Stupid. Oh, because I need 3. Okay. Okay, fine. Yeah, she's coming home to take a test, but she's idly so and if she's positive, she'll stay away from us because that's extremely vulnerable. Okay. Mushroom. Yes, cute kitty. I still don't have bloody 3. Okay, so Rabia. We're still waiting for this. Yes, okay. What other things have I got to do? So that's just tracker Memphis. So I need to go find mushrooms. Wait, not this. No! Wait, are my spores ready to collect? Oh, yeah. Finally, get off. Not Geralt. Shit. Okay. Damn. And some more mushrooms. Okay, right. We know you messy cats. Go. Don't be all. I'm sorry. I'm so mean. Okay, and then also go across here. Wait, not that. Just this one. Hey, stabilizer. Okay, so we have 2 stabilizer. Lots of scrap. We also have Geralt caps for this dude. Oh, I need to put in 3. Right. Okay, fine. Yep, let's do this. As you enter Rabia's office, you hear voices. Is that Sabine? You open the door. Sleeper, what good timing. Rabia calls out as you enter. I wanted to introduce you to someone. The man is standing at the centre of the room, speaking quietly with Rabia. He turns as you come in. Meet Yannick. Oh, he's cool as well. One sec, I'm just gonna have a drink. Okay. Sleeper? He nods. Been hearing good things from Rabbi. He smiles an easy smile. Good to meet you. Likewise, likewise. He waves a ringed hand. Now, Rabbi, where were we? Actually, Rabbi places a hand on your shoulder. The sleeper was what I wanted to talk to you about. She doesn't spare you a look. What is going on? Well, okay then. Yannick tucks his hand into his pocket. Go on. I'd like to recommend them to your ward. A tiny pause. They have shown themselves to be a capable ally here on the spoke side. But we have more than enough to run our territories. I hear the main block is proving more difficult. Yannick leans forward slowly. It's a mess, Rabu. He waits, his tinted glasses shimmering despite the lack of light in the unit. I can use them, he suddenly decides. Rabbi smiles. Good to hear. I can immediately. Yannick cuts her off with a raised hand. 1 second. He steps one surprisingly light step towards you. You eager to work, sleeper? Yes. Yannick nods his head as if listening to music. Okay then. You suddenly are unsure if he is talking to you. That concludes it. Oh, sorry, that was Yannick. That concludes it, Yannick pronounces. Sleeper can come work in the ward anytime they like. You shoot Rabai a confused look. Rabai finally glances at you for a moment, but it is so fast you almost miss it. Good, I know you'll be happy with their work, Jan. Yannick reaches out and squeezes her shoulder. Sure, Ravi, he says. Now please, he says, turning to face you. Let us old friends get back to it. He guides Rabia away, leaving you standing alone. You look to Rabia, but she's deep in conversation, and so, stunned and confused, you leave. Huh. Oh, this is my block. Oh, great, I'm in the shit block. I still haven't got the 3 things yet. It's so annoying. Oh, easy. Freest win. You almost laugh when you see it. The same small recorder is stuck to a different wall this time. Written across the fluorescent tape is that familiar word, sleeper. You grab it quickly. Rabia says sorry. Sabin's voice sparks up at once again. She said she didn't have time to brief you before setting you up with the old man. I'm sure you've got the play by now, sorry. Earn his trust, work the block. Then we need you to get into his office. A pause. It's risky, but obviously you're the only one of us he doesn't already know. Either way, we need to locate the link to Esnab. You hear a shout in the background of the recording. Rabbi says be careful. Sabin continues. The data suggests there's some relay processing the implant data and sending it to Esnab, but we can't lock down his position. Either he is moving it, or it's moving itself, or it's rerouting through the relays. We can't understand it. Maybe you can find some detail on it in his office. Once he trusts you, you should be able to get close enough to get in the office. You'll get one shot at this. The recording creaks and whines. That's the final piece of the puzzle to end this. I pause. Good luck, sleeper. I'm sorry too. Be safe. The recording clicks off, leaving you in silence. You pocket the recorder just in case and walk away. Looks like it's up to you. Why is it always up to me? Rats. Double rats. Oh, God, that's annoying. What else have I got to do here? I could try and get some money, maybe. Can't do any of them yet. Don't know what this is. What is that? Oh, wait. Wait. Things progress. Uh-oh. And what's that? Right. Okay, so that's an issue. I think it's that thing, but I don't really, I don't know what to do, man. I don't have the thing. I can't do it. Which is the one? Is it the community where I can? That's one, yeah. Okay, so I get fed there. Okay. And cycle. Lurv. Wop wop wop. Nice. Yes, a 3, finally. What? Oh, this guy. Sleeper. Morris is waiting for you on the way out. Have you been? Busy. I see. He nods. Well, I'll get right to it then. Bliss sent me down. We've scored another contract and she needs your help. That's the message. He pauses. Look, I know last time the payment didn't come through, but you did good work. Bliss knows that. It's no problem. Oh, okay then. He pauses again. She's doing her best, you know. I know. He nods. See you up there. Morris turns and strides off, leaving you in the corridor. Time to tell Bliss, and maybe this time you think to yourself it'll work out. Maybe indeed. Right, begin to crack this code. No! No! I probably should have looked at. Oh, thank God. Okay. Okay. This is not going as bad as before. Oh, wait, maybe it is. Shit. I thought, did I not? Wait, where's S1? Maybe I have to do both of them for it to, hold on. Yeah, it looks that way. Maybe I should have been a bit more focused on that. Oopsie. Could have totally fucked us, but I guess the decisions we make. Oh, bloody hell. Okay. Uh-oh. Double O. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Okay, now we sweep. It'll probably be fine. Okay, right. Obviously I needed a 4, right? Oh, good. Oh, good. Oh, good. Not helpful. Yep. Oh, fuck. No! Well, this is an issue. This is an issue. Well, maybe if we can do this in like, oh no, I can only do it once. Oh, that's BS. Nice. You and Bliss are floating in the base airlock, waiting for its cycle. You pick a few leaves from your clothes as you wait. They float around the chamber as if carried by a lazy wind. Clean work. Bliss bows a little. Well, thank you, Sleeper. You didn't do so bad yourself. She checks her tool belt. Seems like we're getting into a good rhythm. The now familiar sequence of clunks and rattles sound out, and then the door hisses open. The moment it does, you know something has once again gone wrong. What's all this? Bliss asks a confused-looking Moritz. Beside him are a set of crates, anchored to the bay floor. He has clearly just brought them in through the bay's freight lock. Moritz looks nervously between the two of you before answering. It's payment. He runs a hand along the crate. The Sycamore Sea crew just brought them in and just brought them over. He stops, but seeing the look on Bliss's face adds, they were very thankful. I bet they were, she clenches her fist. What the hell is inside? Moritz leans over and struggles with the catches on each side of the top of the crate. As he does, Bliss turns to you. Don't say it. Bliss stares into space. Don't you dare say it. Stay silent. Don't. She gives you a hard look. This isn't my fault. Moritz finally gets the catches free and the lid floats off, drifting up into the bay. As it does, a small brown lump floats up with it. Moritz reaches out and catches it as it passes him. Is that a mushroom? Bliss finishes. A damn mushroom? They paid us in mushrooms? Not just mushrooms. He holds out a lump of tightly packed leaves. Produce. Bliss starts laughing. Goddamn hyphen commune. You should have known they didn't have a chit to rub between them. She knocks a small brown mushroom across the bay. Stop, Bliss. Moritz grabs her hand. These are good. Fresh. We can sell them. To who, Moritz? Are we running a grocer's now? We need cryo, otherwise this whole bay will be shut down. We can't pay for parts with leafy greens. She waggles them in front of Moritz's face. I can use them. Bliss raises an eyebrow. What, 4 whole crates? Even you can't be that hungry. You can take a few, but the rest will sell. She smiles to herself. Or at least Moritz will sell them, if he is so eager. Moritz closes the crates and starts moving them. It isn't that bad, Bliss. It's a step in the right direction. He glances at you, looking for backup. They'll sell well. Bliss sighs. Looks like I went into business with a couple of wannabe farmers, she laughs. Prove me wrong then. Show me this is a windfall. She kicks away towards the new patched together terminal. Until then, I'll be working on how to keep this place open. Moritz mouths a thank you and goes back to moving the crates. You better be on your way too. I want a mushroom. Ooh, yay! I have enough Girl caps. Nice. Mr. Friend will be happy. Here you go, have some mushroom. I've had like no interaction with this character, and he's one of my faves. Okay. Bum. What else do I have to do? Do I have to do Yatagan stuff? No, I don't think so. What can I do? What can I do? Mushroom used to be my nickname, so why? That's not a good thing. I might as well do this. Get your spars ready. Nice. Perfect. So when those are done, I can... Wait, let's go back over. Get some food! Bird. Yum. Because there was an Indian restaurant menu we found with a dish called Mushroom Bahar. And it was described as a spicy dish, which someone said sounded like me. And the rest was history. Nice. Am I a spicy dish? Wait. It was 3 we needed, right? 4? God damn it. Yeah, oh, okay. I thought we didn't have it then. Jesus. Okay. You're a mild coconut curry. Oh. Oh. Bollocks. No. Come on. No. That's an issue. That's an issue. Wait. Oh, that's a big issue. Oh dear. Does that mean I'm gonna fail that thing? That's really annoying. I need to... Okay. Disable. Uh-oh. A glint like a light travelling along the edge of the wave fills your eyes. Oh, it's a new one! Then a blade follows you, a long head with 2 dead sockets slipping towards you in silence. You freeze, hoping it will pass you by, hoping they will not simply slice through you like air. The blade's head nears, sliding past you, almost. It nicks you, grazes you. You are desperate to cry out, to call out. But you hold your silence and simply watch the blind eyes of the killer slide past. Empty of all thought. Then the blade wings into the dark and you're alone again. Now you cry out. Well, that's not ideal. Let's do this, I guess. Rat. I'm very annoyed that I've like totally ballsed up this wait. Ooh. Wait a second. What's going on here? Oh. Yeah, I know that. Where's the... Wait, can I not buy food off him? No! I need food, I'm hungry. Gosh darn it. Please. I need food. Do this to save my soul. Ugh, totally messed up the thing. Well, there's one. Uh-oh! You slip into the cloud, but before you do, you already know it's too late. You try not to think of Feng buried deep in the waste, searching, but then something strange happens. A thread from the facility cuts through the cloud like a hairline crack of light. Feng did it alone. He cracked their system. You rush to it, cut into it, desperate for news, for assurance, for anything. The thread flickers and unravels into an image, a scene. 2 figures in a room, one sat, the other pacing. The pacing figure resolves into Harden, the unmistakable superior posture, the shock of grey hair. The second figure is restrained, slumped awkwardly in their seat, their head lolling forward on their chest. You know before you look closer that it is Feng. I'll ask again, how did you gain access to this facility? You flinch. Harden is questioning Feng. And yet, somehow the signal is cutting through. Coming out of that deep place. Not strong enough for anyone to find it, but strong enough for someone who is expecting it. Strong enough for you. Feng lifts his head, a dark bruise shadowing one eye. I just walked in off the street, he grins. Isn't this the timbre? Harden barely reacts. I know you're behind the breach in the low end, Feng. And we have your equipment from your bay. Even if I let you go now, Havanage would expel you just for this. He folds his arms. What would your parents think of you now? Giving up all their work, and for what? Some misguided crusade? He smiles. You work in systems, Feng, so I know you know this. The eye cannot survive. It cannot keep spinning. Feng's silence is painful. Is that true? Arden approaches Feng. How long do you think Havanage should continue to keep people in the dark? Should we wait until the ring stops spinning? Until the air gives out? Feng speaks quietly. Dying here is better than living under corporate control. Arden raises an eyebrow. What an absurd sentiment. You are blinded by ideology. Sadly, your sickness is contagious. Havanage is no longer strong, no longer united. No one here believes in Erlin's vision, nor has the strength to enact it. He crouches in front of Feng. And the people of this station, refugees, gangs, spacers, all either opportunists or degenerates. This place is a ruin filled with squatters and outlaws. They'll be lucky if it's still spinning in 100 cycles. Arden stands. Conway will move forward with the reclamation. They will legally claim the eye as salvage under the Interstellar Salvage Act. Meanwhile, Havanage will assist with the transport of the now illegal residents to Conway housing and labour facilities. Feng spits him. Traitor. This is what the future looks like, Feng. We cannot relegate the past over and over. Relitigate the past over and over. Just as we cannot lie to these people about this station's ability to support life. And how much do you stand to gain? Feng pulls against his restraints. No, and how much do you stand to gain? Feng pulls against his restraints. Stop that or I'll call security back in to add to your bruises. Arden goes to leave. This is the future. Leaving you, Feng. Say goodbye. Feng breaks free from his chair and rushes Arden, shifting into a blur of anger and fear. The recording freezes and then it begins to loop. You freeze for a moment too. Then you quickly gather the recording packet into a polygon of the purest light. You rush the relay, reminding yourself that Feng is in there. That Feng could still be alive. That this recording could have just happened. Have just finished right now. You lay out scenes in your head of this escape, his rescue, his victory. It only takes a second to place that polygon of data, that recording into the relay system Feng prepared. And then you watch as it bursts out, a web of threads heading out into the black, to every networked device on the eye. You don't have time to think about the panic, about the confusion, not until recording is well on its way. Then it hits you. Is the eye really heading for another collapse? Or is that just another convenient excuse for a man like Arden to build his fortune on? True or not, it is out there now, and Arden and Havanage will have to answer for it. How long will it take before they act? Before they pull Feng out of the place? Your thoughts adrift to the people of the Eye, to their lives. Each of them has known what it is like to be used, to be disregarded, to be overlooked. That is why they came here. You realise now that you are no different than anyone else on this station, in Harden's eyes. Each body here can be recast as a piece of property, a tool, an expense, an acceptable loss. In one moment they can be named a citizen, celebrated, protected, and in another the very idea of a citizen can be used against them. That is what it means to live in proximity to a system like this. No longer. While the eye still spins, its people will decide their own fate. What'd I do? I help? I no help. Really do something. You look at the countermeasure on the drawer. It looks like some kind of shock trap. If you grab the drawer, you'd likely have thousands of volts running through your system right now. You wince. Once you find the anchor points, it comes way easily enough. You prise it from the drawer quickly and quietly, then listen for footsteps in the corridor outside. Nothing. All clear for now. You slide the drawer open, looking for other countermeasures that might be inside, expecting to see a chunk of tech, the relay. But as you slip it open, all you see is a handful of wires and an empty implant cradle. Is this some kind of mistake? You freeze for a moment, unsure what to do next. Why keep an implant cradle so carefully guarded? You remember Yannick having an implant, a small plate on the side of his head, just above his ear. You assumed it was for hearing or vision. Those shimmering glasses of his come back to you in your memory, his strange movements, his speech. You look again at the cradle and there it is, printed on the frame. Proprietary technology, propriety of SNARP. Oh, is he a robot? Rabia said the relay moved, that they couldn't get a fix on it. What if Yannick was the relay? The thought hits you like a shock. Yannick with a remote relay implanted in his head, networked to every single implanted officer in the low end. A shudder runs through you. Is he even in control? Or has SNARP wormed its way into the man? Could he even be considered separate from the corporation itself? You think of your own legal status as proprietary technology. A puppet with cut strings. Time to cut Yannick's strings then. You reach around inside the cradle and find it. A remote connection. A tiny bead of a transmitter, likely controlling the link to SNARP. There it is. You pause for a moment, then you squeeze it. Snap it from its frame and it crumbles, sparks and dies. It takes a moment before the shouts come, before the scream, and you're already on your way out. Down the corridor, down the unit that serves as the lobby to Yannick's office. Then out onto the walkway where Yannick lies still, enforcers gather around him bemused. Roach. You push through the crowd and there he is, still crumpled. You arrange him a little, lie him down properly, feeling how his thin body is under his suit. You wonder how long he has been like this, a puppet for SNARP. With the connection cut, nothing remains but his body, which means that Yannick, the man, was gone a long time before. You place a hand on his chest. You are sorry for him, but it is done now. And you did not kill this man. You've seen enough. The connection is cut and whatever Yannick was or had become is gone. Your anger is hardcore in your chest. And all of it is focused on SNARP. Emphys is preparing the Girol caps. He has had to heavily adapt this recipe, he says, but the smell is already incredible. It emanates from a strange purplish white bulb you have never seen before, and he is slicing it finely. He brushes and slices the mushrooms and then places them in the wok, with the sliced bulb and the oil. They caramelize there, in that well-worn crucible. He adds liquids, transparent and opaque, and then turns down the heat. A sprinkle of leaves is the final touch. Wait a moment, Sleeper, he smiles. Do you have a story? Something in the scent of the food gives you a feeling of nostalgia, something distant and melancholic. It seems like a story should match that feeling somehow, and maybe you'll feel better for telling you. Recall your oldest memories. You start by explaining that when you are emulated from a person, many of your memories are left behind. Perhaps it is an intentional part of the process, a way of keeping sleepers ignorant and malleable. Perhaps it is a side effect of the imperfect emulation. You admit that you don't really know. What you do know is that some memories survive, and that on occasion they come back to you, like shadows passing overhead. You detail one recurring memory, which despite returning to you with enough regularity for you to think of it as familiar, always fades as quickly as it arrives. You struggle to explain the feeling of being whole for a moment that comes with this memory, and then how that wholeness slips away to leave you feeling like you've forgotten something important, but just can't bring to mind. Emphys nods throughout, cooking as he does with deft and skillful movements. You start to trail off when you realise you can't find the words to explain how the memories you do have feel like both yours and someone else's at the same time, and how that always fills you with a certain sadness. The sadness of remaining forever unknown, even to yourself. Emphys finishes cooking and meets your eye. I'm sorry, Sleeper, for your troubles. He puts the wok to one side. I appreciate you sharing with me. He smiles. I hope it lightens you a little. He passes you a bowl and heaps the Girols into it, their yellow colour mixing with the pale sauce in halls and blooms. Eat. The dish is delicious. Filling it warms you as you eat in a way you weren't even sure your body could have warmed. It is a small mercy you think that Esnab left you this pleasure. Many of the features of frames are there to simulate human experience. You know that much. Emulated minds cannot be rewired, so their need for embodied experience must be met. That is why you breathe, even when you do not need air. Without that simulation, the sensation of drowning would be unbearable. Food serves another purpose. Your frame is able to metabolize it, to produce energy from the raw material. Vitamins and minerals are excess, of course. Your frame only needs raw power. So much is wasted. And yet, while you eat this food and feel that warmth, nothing feels wasted. It all means something to you. As you finish, Emphys takes the bowl, the last of his cleaning. He smiles at you, and neither of you feel the need to say anything more. Instead, you simply exchange nods and walk your separate ways, back into the private market, somehow changed. Okay. Where's the guy? There he is. Oh, he's back. Sleeper. Orator's leaning against the corridor wall. It's time. He looks away. Big job just came in. Grand finale. You up for it? I'm ready. Alright then. We're in business. He pushes away from the ball. This has to work, Sleeper. It has to. He looks down. If it doesn't... We're in trouble. The bay, you mean? He shrugs. We were always in trouble before you got here. The work so far hasn't been enough. Look, Bliss has had a rough time of it. I thought you of all people would understand that. He runs a hand through his hair. Sorry, I didn't mean to be. He smiles. Bliss is a good one. She gave me a chance. I owe her. He straightens up. I know you have your own things going on, Sleeper. We all do. But the Bay needs someone. Bliss needs someone. Hell, I need someone to help me keep Bliss from spinning out completely. He scratches on the side of his head. Otherwise there's not much I can do. He shakes his head. I would hate not to pay back my debts. Roach stretches. I've got to get back, he nods, and walks away. Okay. There's an active scene. What? Where? Oh. Oh! Oh my god, he's alive. Feng limps to the door of the bay to greet you. Above in the rest of the building, people are rushing back and forth, loudly debating, having endless meetings after endless meeting. Havaner's crisis has only just begun, it seems. Feng is battered but alive, and pain alone can't dampen his spirit. You should have seen Harden's face when the recording reaches Slate. Feng laughs and coughs, then laughs some more. He knew that was it. It was over. What happened to him? Oh, he immediately left. Feng shakes his head. He got in a shuttle and slunk off the station before the Havanage security that weren't in on it could assault the station. He smiles. Left the rest of his crew in total panic. They surrendered immediately. He rubs his leg. Not before one of the departing consec guys broke my leg though. I'm sorry I didn't do better. Feng waves the idea away. You did one hell of a job, and you got the recording out. That's what mattered. He points to the ceiling. The people upstairs weren't so happy though. They've been fielding questions about the state of the eye right and left. Sorry, right and left since the recording got out. People are scared. I'm not surprised. Yeah, this whole thing hasn't won me many fans in the administration. But I think in the end they'll agree that outing Arden was worth it, whatever the methods. He touches a stack of hardware. The eye is old, and it was never meant to run like this. The master controller points that Erlin Havenage installed. The master control points that Erlin Havenage installed. They keep it spinning from the rim. That isn't ideal. But if you're asking me if the eye will stop spinning next cycle, no. He smiles. And me? A ton of other skilled people will be working to stop it happening in the cycle after that. Arden's problem was that he didn't believe in people. He believed in systems and their ability to shape the world around them. Feng squeezes your shoulder. As far as I'm concerned, people should be the ones running the systems, not the other way around. Anyway, Feng raps on the side of his terminal. I know you didn't come here for a lecture. My tracker. I'm forgotten. He produces a thumbnail drive. Managed to finish that code solution I showed you. It's a modified ripperworm, one I made to deactivate that tracker of yours. But in the time since I got back, I added something extra. That tracker of yours doesn't just show SNARP where you are, it transmits data about the state of your body, your current condition. My worm won't just deactivate it, it'll edit that data to tell SNARP your body is irreparably damaged. DNR, do not retrieve. He grins widely. Pretty smart, right? Thank you. Just slot it already. You take the drive and hold it in your hand. Then you close your eyes and open your access ports. Take down your defenses. The worm immediately enters your closed network. It whips through it, taking things with it as it goes. The moment they are gone, you forget they were ever there. They just blink out of existence. A second later it's done. You open your eyes. How do you feel? Asks Feng, a little nervously. Free. Feng smiles widely. Well, you are free, sleeper. Claps you on the shoulder. Feng lets the word free hang in the air for a little while before he continues. Seems like it might be finally time for a celebration. He wraps his arm around you. Jenna still owes us those drinks. He laughs and you join him. And later, when you leave, you feel deeply thankful for having such a friend. As you walk away from the building, you look up at the wide curve of the eye, up at the hub, and the other rim beyond it. The whole thing twinkles with light, and it seems impossible to see it as anything other than breathtakingly beautiful. It feels in that moment like something eternal. That doesn't mean it can or ever should it last forever, or that it will never change, fade or decay. It simply means that in this moment this place has a future, and that it is one that you know deeply and truly is worth protecting. Hello. Well, we've disabled our tracker bee. So that's good. Just got three things. Only 3. No, rats. What a fool. Can I... Ah. Damn it. Okay, so they're one away. No, I knew I'd fuck that up. That's so stupid. God damn it. Oh wow, okay, fair enough. I'm not even risking it, I'm just going to bed. Yep, do that. Oh, I can just do this. Use my energy on that. Okay. Perfect. Right. No! Oh, easy. Ooh, so close. So close. Please. Yes! The atmosphere in the airlock is euphoric. You and Bliss keep grinning at each other like idiots. Exhausted, blinded, sore and aching idiots. Ah. So does that mean you are also isolating now, or? Also, sorry to hear your sister has COVID. I hope she's alright. Okay, that's good. Just having food slid under the door to her. Sleeper, that was incredible. She punches you on the arm. I never thought we were going to make it. Those idiots tangled the whole thing up like nothing I've ever seen. I'm just glad it's over. Too right, she sighs. We'll need a trip to the gimbal. As the locks, the inner door clunks open. Moritz gives a rare whoop. He looks exhausted too, and for a good reason. Moritz has been the one ferrying tools and parts back and forth from the ship. His tired smile tells you he's glad it's done. Sleeper, Bliss, he shakes his head. Impressive. When I saw that ship come in, I thought there was no way. Why, thank you, Moritz, she winks, for believing in us. Moritz rolls his eyes. You know what I mean. Take the compliment. He shoulders some of the gear that came back in with you, and Bliss, and with... that came back in with you and Bliss, and heads to the racks to stow it. She's the Z... yeah, like a prisoner. Okay. Yep. Lights out! Bliss... Who's Bliss? Bliss turns to you. I think you should be the one to do the honours. She nods to the ragged-looking console that Moritz assembled. I don't want to jinx it. She smiles, but you can see that she is genuinely nervous. Check the console. You glide over to the console and check the screen. It takes a second to see what you are doing through the flickering, cracked display, but after a moment you see the accounts. There it is, almost 1,000 cryo sat in the base transfer account. Well, Bliss calls. Have you been screwed again? It's there. Bliss kicks off from the wall and spins up into the bay, shouting as she does. The noise takes Moritz by surprise and he knocks a rack of parts, scattering handfuls of metal fixings across the bay. The sight is something. Glinting steel catching the work. Lights like glitter. Oh, work light. This is very, maybe I just can't read. Sometimes it fucks with me. Anyway. Sorry, says Bliss, grinning when she comes back down. I needed that. She kicks off and joins you at the terminal. Moritz even managed to sell that produce we made a tiny profit. Eventually. She laughs. Here. She loads a stack of blank chits into the terminal and transfers a chunk of the cryo to them. This is your cut. Liz hands you the chits. Thank you for believing in this place. She looks away and smiles. Even when I couldn't. When I first met you, I was on the edge of giving up. All it would have taken was one more push. But now this place is sparking again. Work is coming in. There are funds in the accounts. Even Moritz is springing his step. You both look over at him, happily racking up tools. That's because of you. She punches you on the arm. He likes you. He's a good kid. He isn't bad, is he? She leans in closer. You know he came here looking to rob the place. I gave him a job instead. She laughs. Don't tell him I told you that. I just thought it might help you understand the kid. Moritz looks at you, and both Blitz and you awkwardly wave. Maybe it's time to change the subject. What now? From here on out it's going to be a little easier. I'm going to look for some component contracts, stuff that will keep us inside the bay, not out in the black. No need to risk our necks if we don't need to. You want to cash out? That's fine. But there will always be work for you here when you need it. Appreciate it. She smiles and then out of nowhere quickly gives you a hug. She steps back and glances around reflexively. Take care, she says softly. You too. You turn to leave. And sleeper? Yes? Don't spend that all at once. Ah, well. Oh, I thought we'd be done with that one. No, sir. Not yet. There's more active scenes. What? Even before you enter the office, you can hear the sound of Rabia working the heavy bag. She's hammering it, the chain creaking as it shakes with each hit. She's been like this since... Spin doesn't finish the sentence. They're sitting on a stool, looking at the terminal in the corner, searching through the SNAP data you pulled all those cycles ago. She okay? Just angry. We all are. But you have to remember, she knew Yannick for a long time. Spin glances nervously at Rabia. What Snap did? Rabia stops punching, and in the silence you hear her breathing hard. Spin looks over at her, and you sense something between them. You realise you haven't seen them together since they tried to kill each other in the same unit. A lot has changed since then. Yeah, Sabine is, yeah. They hooked him up like a puppet. Rabia hits the bag. Rigged that thing in his head so they could control him. Push the old Yannick out. I don't know why he let them in. Rabia throws a few more punches. But it's a lesson. Don't let them in. Another flurry. Yataghan shouldn't deal with corporations. And we never will again. She spits. She comes away from the bag. At least Yannick's death has been treated as natural. There's a chance we come back from this, the Yataghan can hold on. But there are opportunists trying to take control. It's been turned to you. Yes, but now the connection has been broken. I've been looking at removing the trackers from the implants in Yataghan enforcers. It's a significant job, but I think with time I can do the surgeries. Rabia walks away from the bag, towards the far side of the unit. Those surgeries will never happen if Yataghan collapses. She shouts back at Sabine. Clearly this is a well-worn argument in this unit. What now for you? Sabine looks over at Rabia. I want to help fix this mess if I can. There's the implants, and I want to return to my surgery. The low end needs doctors. What I understand now is the Yataghan can be something if we want it to be. Coming here from Essenarp, from the core world, all I saw was a gang, and with Yataghan keeping me on a tight leash. They shudder. Rabia believes all I want. That belief? Oh. Rabia believes, and I want that belief. They look unsure. I also want to be done with Essenarp, but I doubt they're done with me. She glances away. They glance away, rubbing their shoulders. Are you and Rabia? Sabine fixes you with a look. Yes, Sleeper, isn't it obvious? They smile. Been wanting to say, Sabine begins nervously. I'm sorry that I didn't tell you where I came from. I know I've apologised before, but I want to again. They pause. Properly. When I lead the data on the Sleeper program, it was to try to help people like you. They grit their teeth. But after all the cycles here, being pushed down, pushed around, trying to survive, all I got away from me. So, when you turned up, they sigh. It shook me up. They ran a hand through their hair. But I ended up here, so... They look at Rabia. Oh, of course. They reach into the pockets and take out a handful of vials. These are the last of the case. You can have them. They drop them into your hands. After these last few, I don't know what we can do, with the Essenarp's connection broken. They look down. But I know there are a few other ways. Repairs, other pharmaceuticals. I even heard that there's some lab out on the Greenway. Perhaps they can help. They meet your eye. I'm sorry I can't do more. Thank you for everything. They look away, their eyes bright with tears. Rabia crosses back to you and sits beside Sabine. They look at each other, and you can't help but smile at the idea of them together. What are you two plotting? Rabia grins. Sabine laughs, and the sound is a welcome one. You watch the two of them teasing each other and smile. Later when you leave, you take that handful of vials out of your pocket and look at them. You can still feel that core of anger deep inside you, and you don't know if it will ever leave. But Essenarp doesn't owe you anymore. They can't. Because this place, these people, own you. They are what makes you get up every cycle. They are what keeps you breathing. You put the vials away and walk through the low end. Your senses tuned to every sight, every smell, every sound, soaking it all in. Living. Well. This could be it. This could be the end. Emphasis preparing the Matsutake caps. He cleans them carefully with a damp cloth before shaving the stalk, as if he was sharpening a pencil. His knife slides through them, revealing the bright white of the flesh within. He's a good sleeper. Very good, he says without looking up. I bartered with Minji for some kelp too, so we can brew the dashi. Dashi? A soup base. Very good. Emphas slides the sliced matsutake mushrooms to one side and takes out a closed pan. He opens the lid and you see the green wafer of kelp sitting in a bath of water. Been soaking it since last cycle, Emphas explains. Should be good to warm now. He places the pan over the burner and turns it on low. We have some time now. He wipes his hands clean and throws the cloth over his shoulder. However, there's one difference this cycle, he smiles. You've been the one providing the ingredients, so it's my turn to provide the story. Okay, good. This story is important to me. He gestures for you to both sit on the folding stools behind the stall. You see these? Emphas runs a hand over his forearm, tracing the circular scars that mark them like perfect bite marks. Conway called it an anchored interference rig, a mechanical control device for piloting a heavy-duty extraction suit in low-G industrial operations. We call it a bone suit. He points to a pattern of large circles on his shoulder. They drill in and anchor it here, then all the way down to the arm. He taps each scar on the way. It maps mechanical movements to the suit exactly. A one-to-one mechanical replication. You swing your arm, a 2-ton arm swings too. You should have seen the recruitment vids. Strong people in even stronger suits, tearing through stone and scrap. Superheroes. Half my graduating year signed up from the company school to company shuttle. Conway from birth to death. He stares off into the distance for a moment, fighting with the memories. But the bone suits weren't good. The rate of failures was high, and failures meant arms torn off, anchors torn out, bones broken. Bad stuff. So after a while, Conway discontinued them. No longer competitive, they said. He checks the broth, turning down the heat and adding the mushrooms. So there we were, hundreds of us with surgical alterations for suits that didn't work. They sent us home, back to that company colony that spat us out, to be cleaners, drivers, cooks. They gave us drugs for the pain and told us to make something of ourselves. When I deserted, bribing some passing spacers to take me into orbit, there were only me and a couple of others left. The rest just faded away. Arthritis, osteoporosis. They folded in on themselves like paper lanterns. That was my generation. The anchor points still ache, still burn, touches the scars. But what burns worse is the betrayal. I've been on the eye for a long time now, but that will never fade. Not that and not the faces of my friends. Emphas reaches over and sprinkles a handful of leaves into the broth. It's ready. I'm sorry. Don't be. It was Conway's crime, and you know better than most what we went through. It is enough that you are here to listen. Emphas pours the broth into a double-walled metal bowl and hands it to you. The heat radiates through your hands, and the smell drifts up rich and sharp like pine forest after the rain. You drink the broth slowly, chewing the matstaki and thinking. Emphas busies himself with cleaning the pans and the bowl, sealing the kelp back up for another day. Then he quietly comes to sit with you while you finish your meal. Neither of you speak, preferring to let the story linger in the air a little longer. It is not that there's nothing to say. It is that sometime in the moments after something, speaking breaks the spell. So you both idle, eager to be in each other's company. Emphas takes longer over his cleaning, his packaging, Emphas taking longer over his cleaning, his packing, and you savouring the final dregs of broth. When you finally finish and hand him the bowl, you feel the spell break, and the story leaves you both. And as you leave, you know that both of you are somehow a little more empty, a little more full than before. Oh, I think I know. Looks like I do have one more. I think I know what it is. I think it's escape. I need sleep. Where's my house? There we go. There's one up here, which I think it might be. Oh, wait, no, there's this, isn't there? One last job. And this is another one. Fuck, I might not actually done this now. Oh, it's this dude. Quite the achievement, isn't she? Sandra Sellis must be proud. You recognise the resonating voice of Carcer immediately, and turn to see him, hooded and tucked into the shadow near the viewing platform. Carcer, I see you remember our game. Good. He looks around, but the platform is clear. I'm afraid you'll have to wait for a rematch. Microgravity makes Tavla a little difficult. He smiles broadly. Costa walks out to stand beside you on the platform. The telltale clunk of a magnetic boots accompanies his slow crossing. He notices you looking at them. I don't like it up here, he explains. I hear there was some trouble at the Havanage shipyard when they announced the results of the crew lottery. They screwed us. I know, he sighs, meeting your eye. An ugly business. Sellers are too used to the way things work in the core. Exploitation is the only logic they know. He gestures out at the side rail. You know why they built this monstrosity on the eye? Control? Certainly. There's no corporate oversight out here. But that's not all. He stares at the pristine yellow hull. Sellers built it here, says Casa gravely, because they didn't want anyone to know it exists. He rubs his forehead. And secrecy is something I cannot abide. He turns to face you. There are people being loaded onto that ship as we speak. Sleeping people, locked in cryosleep like a person that you were emulated from. There are hundreds of them, and Celis wants to send them out into a planet on the edge of the settled systems without anyone knowing where it is. But you, Sleeper, can do something about that. You are like me. You deal with data. You can read it. Right out of the air. With someone like you on that ship, secrecy isn't a problem. You can ping back whatever you need whenever I need it. As long as you're on board. With you on the side reel, and some minor modifications, he pauses. You'll be my eyes and ears. I will keep track of Celis's ground project through you. In short, says Castor, stretching, I can get you on board, Sleeper. I'm going to need you to help me. What if I disagree? Then I doubt you'll find a way onto that ship out there. It's not just me. Yes, your friend Lem. That can be arranged. It's difficult, but not impossible. Condition is, of course, that you go too. Caster clunks closer to the window, watching the tugs wheeling around the side reel. It's a simple offer. I'm the only one that will get you on that ship. Please consider it. He turns back, silhouetted against the ship. But to make it happen, I need your assistance, as I said. There is a Celis Foundation ship docked in the now empty shipyard. I need the data from its servers. This will allow me to produce the IDs necessary for your transit. Caster looks over his glasses at you. Sellers aren't stupid though. Their ship is totally isolated from the station. You'll need to get aboard if you want to access their airworld servers. Once you have the data, meet me at your friend's unit so we can give him the good news. He smiles. I notice his importance to you, and the little one's so cute. You don't extract the data before the sidereal horizon leaves the hub, then I will get the message. We have other options, but you are certainly my preferred one. But be sure, when you act, Sleeper. Once you take the data from Celis, you'll set off a series of events that would likely be hard for you to untangle yourself from. Either way, I recommend you stop asking around up here. You're bringing a lot of attention to yourself. Caster glances around, as if to emphasize his point. There are only a handful of cycles until departure, Sleeper. Make a decision. With that, Caster marches back off the platform, the sound of his mag boots fading away, leaving you to contemplate the sidereal horizon and the part it may play in your future. New drive. Okay. So I think that's... So I've got this one, the Bliss one, and that, so I guess those are my two, like, things. And then I probably the game probably ends with me escaping with Lem and what's the girl called? 1 second, pouring a glass of water, I'm not urinating. Mina, of course. Okay, Mimi, yeah. Exactly. Oh. Oh, so good. Too easy. Did I do it? I win? Game over? Oh, Celis data, okay. You want Celis data? Aha! When you arrive at Lemon Mina's unit, Caster is already waiting outside, leaning beside the door. Forgive me, Sleeper, but Celis is already buzzing with the news of the breach. I was expecting you. Will this work? Don't worry, the breach cannot be traced to specific IDs. I'm about to create. Caster reaches into a pocket and produces a sleek green and white hand terminal. The data, please. Hands over. You hand over a drive with the data and Caster fishes around for a converter cable to hook it up. He slots it into the terminal and after some whirring, a set of 2 transparent films marked with numeric sequences are produced. 2 tickets to an uncertain future. Caster smiles to himself. The child will go with Lem, of course. He pockets them. These are yours, but first, he holds out a white cube. Your side of the deal. What is it? Something to help us make use of you. He passes you the square, and you rest it in your palm. A small, white, perfect cube. Suddenly you feel a sharp pain and flinch. The cube jumps from your hand and rattles along the walkway. You look at Caster apologetically. Caster smiles, not to worry. It's done its job. Now it is for you to do yours. You look down, and a tiny pinprick in the centre of your palm. You can see a tiny pinprick in the centre of your palm. Nothing sinister. Caster puts the terminal away. This way we can keep track of you and the sidereal horizon. I didn't agree to this. Oh, I've just had another tracker put in me after I just got out the other one. You did, Sleeper. Caster adjusts his glasses. You have to understand that I could have done this without you knowing. This way, everything is on the table, so to speak. Caster hands you the transparent films, and you see shimmering portraits of you and Lem flickering beneath the surface. Go. Give them the good news. And he reaches across and buzzes the unit. Lem slides open the door, half dressed in his gear. Sleeper, what brings you up here? Come in. He beckons you inside. You look to the side, expecting to see Caster, but the wall is empty. The unit is cleaner, better organised than last time. Lem sits at the thin bar and gestures for you to sit. Mina's with some of the local kids. Someone has started doing lessons down the way. She seems to like her. Stand. Lem looks concerned. What's up, Sleeper? I have some news. Out with it then. Lem laughs. I have sellers IDs for us. You have? Lem freezes. How? Blinks rapidly as if to wipe you from his vision. Does that mean we're leaving? Lem stands up and paces around the unit. We have to pack. He starts laughing. Holy shit, we have to pack. He turns back to you smiling. Hell did you swing this, Sleeper? I made a deal. What a deal. Colour me impressed. You show him the ID films, and he whistles at the portrait. Impressive stuff. He pats you on the shoulder. You should stay until Mina gets home. We can tell her together. I have to go. Of course. Well, if you need to do anything, give me a shout. He smiles warmly, and then impulsively hugs you. I'll see you on the big day, alright? Take care of those passes. He laughs again, nothing in particular. You get up and go, looking one last time for Caster as you exit the unit, but he is still gone. And when you look at the cube, the cube doesn't seem to be where you dropped it. You walked back through the low end. It sounds muffled in your ears, deep in thought. Okay. So I think What do I need to do? I guess I can only wait. I probably have to wait until like this one. And I also have to wait for this to be done. I might as well just keep sleeping, I guess. Sleep time. Space meal. Oh, I could do my mushroom stuff. My mushroom farming. Yes. So I have some food. Yippee! Now I have tons of stabilizers as well. Yeah, space meal is surely not very tasty. And then do a bait. And then plant more mushrooms. Okay. Okay. Oh wow. No. That would have been ideal if that was ready now. Might as well just buy a space meal, I guess. Oh, this is like the best combo I've ever had. That's so annoying. Spicy space shit. Nice B. Sleep a long time. Moritz is smiling at you when you leave. Clearly happy to see you again. Good to see you. Same. He rubs his hands on his jacket. Have you been working hard? I bet. He grins. Well, you're always welcome to hang out at the bay if you want. He glanced around. Actually, that's why I'm here. That's what I'm here about. I know Bliss said that she didn't want to take any more big jobs, but she's changed her mind or something. He grins. Because now I've someone looking for a refit of their ship in our bay. You would not believe it. They want their entire ship disarming. Cutting out defense arrays, weapon lockers, ship-to-ship countermeasures, the whole lot. He leans in. We'll be able to start an arms dealership with all the hardware. We'll have up there when we are done. He laughs. Anyway, it's a massive job and we need some hands. Bliss said to go get you. So come up, Bliss is waiting on you to accept the job. He pauses. It'll be good to have you up there again. He grins. Like old times. When you enter the bay, it is weirdly quiet. Moritz must be on some errand, and maybe Bliss is prepping the kit. Ah. Sleeper. Ankita is drifting at one side of the bay. You missed her completely when you came in. The idea of not seeing Ankita when you enter a room would have seemed unlikely to you several cycles ago, but seeing her without her armour, she seems smaller, less imposing. Ankita. She nods and kicks off on the ball, drifting closer. So what is this? She asks. Come to avenge Ashton, or a sleeper? Or just looking for another payout? Her anger is familiar, but quieter than before, restrained. Don't start. Start what? You are the one following me up here. She looks away and you can tell her anger isn't directed at you, in particular. It radiates off her like fire. You better be ready to sign, comes a shout from the bay entrance. Because I've got my best repair tech coming up here, especially, and they're going to... Bliss glides in and suddenly stops herself when she sees you and Ankita standing off. Oh, Sleeper, you're already here. Miss Cassetta, this is the tech I was telling you about. Best on the hut. She stops, looking between the two of you. Wait, do you know each other? You and Ankita look at each other. We work together. Bliss squints at you both, before continuing. Bliss produces a slate. Now, Miss Cassetta, if you'd like to sign our damage waiver here, we can start on the decommissioning. She looks at you. My tech here is eager to get started, as am I. Ankita scrawls her signature across the slate. Thank you. Bliss pauses. And everything is okay with the special payment terms we discussed? She gives Ankita a strange smile. All fine, says Ankita, giving you another hard look. Then she kicks off and drifts to the entrance. I'll be in the gimbal, she says, and leaves. Special payment terms? She looks over her glasses at you. Look, Sleeper, there's something I have to tell you. She glances around again. What is she so nervous about? This isn't exactly a typical job. Miss Cassetta, Ankita, she gives you a knowing look. Doesn't have the chits to pay us. So we've made a special agreement. She sighs. I'm leaving. Leaving? Keep it down. I haven't told Moritz yet. She looks down. Just waiting to break it to him. Don't you tell him either. She stares hard at you. I'll tell him when I'm ready. And I don't want him getting worried about Ankita's history. It can be very protective. I've noticed. Look, all I care about is that she's heading for the Starwood Belt. She looks out to the bay. That's where I'm headed. She turns back to face you. Also, I want to ask... She stops, unsure. If you'd like to come with us. I would. She interrupts before you answer. I know things have been hard for you on the eye. And you helped me so much. I asked Ankita if she'd carry two of us, and she said yes. Moritz will take over the bay anyway. Although, if you stay, you're welcome to help him run it. I just thought. She sighs. You might be in need of a fresh start, as much as I am. She turns away nervously. Think about it anyway. The berth is there. We've got to finish the job first anyway. And with that, she kicks away and heads to the racks. Before you can offer an answer, Moments later, Moritz enters with a new cutting torch and for the disarming of the ambergris. The starward belt. You push your thoughts in the back of your mind. Time to get to work. So, potentially 2 options of leaving. Oh, too easy. Amber looks better than she ever has before. Bliss has done an incredible job of cleaning up the hull. And despite the exterior changes being limited, she has the impression of being lighter, somehow sleeker than before. Moritz drifts by. He has been loading up the final equipment onto Amber. It turns out Ankita will be taking her weapons, but packed and ready to sell at the first starward belt port she hits. But now Moritz is done, he seems in a kind of daze, floating back and forth aimlessly. You okay, Moritz? What's that? He turns. Oh, right, yeah. Packed and stacked. He smiles a weak smile. Was hoping Miss Cassetta would let me keep her warhead. For what? He shrugs. I don't know, it just might be a cool thing to have around. Hey, Sleeper, he looks down. Did you know Bliss was leaving? You understand now. She told him. That's why he's like this. I did. He nods distractedly. She said this place is mine. He looks up, around the bay like it is suddenly some vast space he doesn't know what to do with. Can you manage it? He looks down at you, a glazed look on his face. I don't know. I just don't know. A dark look suddenly crosses his face. Hey, Sleeper, there was something Bliss said. He meets your eye. Are you going to? Before you can answer, Ankita slides into the bay, a massive crate on her shoulder. Sleeper, you coming or what? Bliss is already on board. She stops by the terminal, holding herself in place. Moritz looks at her with a dazed expression. You look at Ankita. She's keeping it together now. She's packed all those bad feelings down someplace where you'll never see them. Built a tough foundation on top. She may not be a mercenary anymore, but you think most people would think twice before crossing her. Well, she looks at you. I'm not eager to spend another moment of my time on this station unless I have to. She pauses, looking between you and Moritz. She sighs. I'll give you a minute. And she kicks off with the crate, taking it to the end of the bay, where Amber is sat docked. You look back at Moritz. I want to go with Lamb. I'm staying. Moritz looks like he might pass out. Sleeper, are you sure? Are you doing this for me? I'm staying for me. Alright then, you're staying, he grins. And Ankita comes back across the bay. The final crate stowed. You staying then, Sleeper? That's right. She nods. Well, okay then. One less mouth to feed. She pauses. Look, Sleeper. I'm not going to go back over everything that happened. She sighs. I'm trying to put that behind me, but I hope you find what you're looking for here. She smiles and kicks off, gliding to the ambergris and the starward belt beyond. You both watch in silence as Amber's drives fire up. I guess this is our place now, says Moritz, the weight of everything suddenly hitting him. Your place. He smiles. Okay, but I need some help from time to time. You both stay for a while to watch Amber and Bliss and Keita leave. And then Morris goes to the rack to finally implement a new organisational system. And you head out, promising to be back to check on things soon. As you glide around the soft curve of the hub, you catch glimpses of the distant stars flickering through the windows. They are beautiful, it's true, but by now you think of them as distraction. In your time on the Eye, you've realised that there's nothing out there waiting for you. No fresh starts, no bright futures. Just a whole load of problems you haven't found yet. No, your place is here, among the people you know and the problems you know. You wish Keita and Bliss the best of luck out on the belt. But as you do, you focus on the vast spinning rim that rotates around the hub, on its buildings and flashing lights, on its people and places. This is your home, and for now, contains all the future you need. Oh shit, son. Oh wow, I think I must have found like the most oh, that was a brutal ending. Yeah. It's like what's the point in going somewhere else? There's like nothing good. How do I feel? Good. That was a really good game. I was so impressed with that. I'm actually kind of happy with that ending, and I'm glad I went down that route because you know the other route, like if I'd left on the Sidereal Horizon, I don't know what that guy, what the hell was his name? Caster. Oh, hello. Oh. Okay. Maybe we can just leave. Should we leave? Next round is yours. Moritz arrives at the table with a couple of steel drinks canisters, typical to the hub's only bar, the Gimbal Lounge. He settles into the webbing beside the table and clunks them down onto the magnetic table. This place, you have decided, is ridiculous. A rapidly spinning cavernous sphere, the gimbal's weak gravity, just like the gravity at the eye's rim, is created by its gut-wrenching rotation. The interior surface of the sphere is the gimbal's floor, which descends towards the equator, where one long bar loops around the entire sphere. Tumbling out from the centre ring are an array of booths and seating arrangements equipped with all kinds of harnesses and webbing to keep customers in place. Those harnesses are there because Gimbal doesn't quite spin up fast enough, and you watch as the clientele bounce towards the bar in lazy arcs or shift from table to table with graceful leaps. What are you thinking? Asks Moritz, noticing you staring out into the gimbal. What to do next? Moritz looks out at the gimbal. I try not to think too hard about that, he says absent-mindedly. Moritz takes a drink and stretches. So, Sleep, are you sticking around? not sure. Moritz nods. No pressure. Moritz rubs the back of his head. One cycle at a time, that's how we'll take it. Nice and easy. You're unsure if he's talking to himself or you. We'll make it. He lifts his drink for a toast. To the next cycle, he pronounces, and knocks it back. Later, when you finally leave the gimbal, Moritz is still laughing. You help him out of the spinning gimbal and back into the hub, sending him on his way back to the bay. Then you pause for a moment to watch the stars as they spin and spin around the eye. You smile to yourself and think of Bliss and Nikita out there somewhere among those points of light. To the next cycle. What I was going to say was that I would have liked... I'm glad the way this ended because I don't trust Caster. I'm kind of glad they let you go back. Like if there's like side quests you hadn't done, then it will let you finish them. Because I would have been upset if I wasn't able to do that, I think. But I guess it means that we can now leave on that ship and like go like full completionist. The time yet? No. Yeah, definitely. I would quite like the game to end soon though. I've been talking for 2.5 hours and it's slightly killing me. Yeah, true. Back. One more. You can end the stream. No, I've got like a second. No, I wanna do it. Shut up, B. What? It's time, bro. There's a crowd, but you spot Lem and Mina immediately as you enter the dock. They're waiting at the cordon, where cellar security are checking the crew in to board the ship. Those that manage to get to the hub are crowded near the entrance, but even they know their chance of getting on board has long gone. Lem! Lem spots you among the crowd. Sleeper, we're here. They're standing beside a bag, which looks to carry all the possessions they have. It's small enough to be carried in one hand. You ready? Lem smiles nervously. Well, I guess so. He hefts the bag. I hope they'll let us on board. Got our whole life in here. You hand over the seller's ID film to Lem, keeping your own. He turns it back and forth in the light. Where did your friend even get this picture, Sleeper? Looks like my old Conway ID. You look and a shimmering young Lem stares out of the film, harder and clean cut. I spoke to the guard here. He nods to the white and green clad security officer. They'll be doing orientation and role assignment on board. Sounds like we are going to be working under the core crew. Kind of like an intern. He laughs. What do you think, Meanie? Am I too old to be an intern? He's so fluffy, isn't it? Following Lem's lead, you inspect your ID. As you lift the film up to the light, you see something strange. Something that makes you flinch. The face printed in the film is one you recognize immediately. But it is not you. At least, it is not how you look now. You squint at this ghost, confused why you hadn't noticed earlier. It is a picture you remember being taken, a memory that you didn't know you had. You remember signing the forms. The walk to the sleeper tank, the cold metal floor. You remember the SNARP employee who helped you in, her smile clean and surgical. You freeze in place, thinking of the you that still sleeps somewhere in an SNARP facility, that won't wake up until you're recovered and disposed of. And now you're leaving. Will they ever wake up? Sleeper? Lem interrupts your thoughts. These guys want us to board. You stare at him without thinking, then notice the guard gesturing to you both to come forward. You all kick off and float over to them, steadying yourselves on the guardrail. You hang back, letting Lem present his ID first. The guard slides it across a white machine, much like the one Caster printed them from. You reflexively rub the puncture mark on your hand. Even though there is no trace of it now, it seems to be your destiny to be someone else's tool. Lem and Mina are waved through, the guard smiling at her excited face. Oh! Lem turns back to check you are coming. The guard still beckons you closer. Bored. You shake off your doubts and hand over your ID film. The guard barely looks at it as they pass it through the scanner and wave you through. A new life built from old things. You okay? Lem asks, concerned as you catch up with him. You're so slow, robot, Mina teases, grabbing at you with small hands. Just making sure. Lem nods and you realise how much harder it must have been for him to cross that threshold. Mina struggles in his arms, trying to get to you, and Lem relents, struggling with both the bag and his daughter. Mina tumbles through the microgravity and grabs onto your clothes for purchase, pulling herself into your arms. You'll proceed up the walkway, the entrance to the docking bridge yawning wide in above you. Are we family, robot? Mina asks as you move, taking you by surprise. I guess so. Mina smiles and presses her head against your chest, pleased by your answer. You keep moving up into the docking bridge, then along that thin glass-walled connector, all the time Mina clutching onto you. The lack of gravity means you can feel her weight, only the grip of her small hands on your clothes. You both stare wide-eyed at the vast hull of the sidereal horizon, and you try to think of this huge machine as home. Later, when you settle in your bunk, after Mina has finished running back and forth between you and Lem with an endless and infectious excitement, you find yourself looking at your ID film once more. Somehow, since the last time you looked at it, the image seemed to have changed. It is still a picture of the old you, the person that you signed up to have their consciousness copied and placed into the ownership of SNARP. But something else has crept into the image, an underlying sense of self-identification. This is also a picture of you now. The you that survived the eye, that made friends here, that found a way out, that escaped against all odds. The other you might never wake up, they might never live again. But so be it. They consigned you to a doomed life for their own gain. Their life is yours now. You will live it better than they ever could. You lie back on your bunk as the thrust of the sidereel's vast engines kick in. This feeling, this rumble, will be your constant companion for the next decades. It will be there when you work, when you watch Mina grow, when you dream of the planet at the end of the journey. It'll be with you when your body starts to fail, despite the best attempts of Lem and Mina, as the years stack up, and it exceeds its safe operating period by a decade. It will be the thing you wake up to in those rare moments of consciousness, between which Mina will keep you in a frozen state in the hope of preserving you until your destination is reached. It will still be there when Mina wakes you, tears in her eyes, to tell you of Lem's inevitable death. And it will not relent, despite your desire for a moment of silence. It'll be the final thing you hear as Mina shuts down all but the most vital of your functions, and hopes beyond hope that you make it to your final destination, all the while doubting that you will. But for now, in this moment of departure, it is still a new sound, a new feeling, and because of this, it is filled with the promise of the future. And so, you settle back on your bunk and close your eyes, and in moments, you are sleeping a perfect dreamless sleep, the most peaceful that you can ever remember. Oh. Oh. Okay. I have no more endings for you. That's it. There's no more. There's no more. We've done it. The game is done. Oh. No. Shut up. Oh. That was... I don't know which ending I preferred. The first one was sad, and this one was kind of... I don't know. This one's more bleak, almost, if you ask me, because he's literally just going to continuously break down, and his life is watching those he loves grow old, whilst he himself is like slowly decaying. But yeah, the first one is just everything's shit. Everything, yeah. It's like everything's shit, so why try at all? And I know what I'm doing in this place, so why leave? In the second one, yeah, it's better to have loved and lost. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And he'll be able to see Mina grow up and live a good life. Oh. The sadness is there because you loved Mina and Lem, and they loved you. Yeah. I mean, I guess this one is... I mean, I guess the second one is just life. You know, families have... So, the robot and the sleeper and Lem are effectively her parents. Lem dies because he grows old, as parents will do. And yeah, the same with the sleeper, although it's different. His aging is just him breaking down, but he dies as well because But he's lived a good life of seeing her flourish and hopes for like a better future for her. What's a life without pain? Yeah. Ah, well. And on that note, I'm going to end the stream here. But that was really good. That was really, really good. I'll have to decide what we're going to play next. Yeah, I don't know if you can tell, but my voice is in many pains. It's been a lot of talking on my end, and I feel like towards the end, obviously because I've been reading for a while, I felt like my tongue just couldn't move properly, so I kept like slurring because I couldn't speak. Such a baby. It's just 2 hours of talking, Joe. Get a bloody grip. Anyway. Yeah, thank you again for joining. It was real. Yeah, I've got a few ideas of what games we can play next. So yeah, we'll do. I had a thought that maybe we'll keep it slightly more not decision based, because I want to keep, you know, if I'm only playing 2 games at the moment, that's only really how much I have time for at the moment, just with other things going on. But I think if we have Life is Strange and all of that franchise going, that can be our sort of choice matters type game, and then we can have something else on the side for these sessions. I think this came to around 10 hours in the end, which is probably the same for quite a lot of games. Yeah. Thanks again, and night night. Don't think about the bleakness of space. Oh, I will try not to. I will, I'm looking out my window, I can actually see stars. So I will, think about where, what's her name? Fuck. Ankita and... My mind is totally gone. What is her name? Not Mina. Bliss. Yeah, Bliss. I'll think where they've got to and how Mina is doing on the new planet. Okay. I'm gonna stop talking. I'm gonna go to bed. Good night. And I'll catch you tomorrow night for something a bit more I was going to say a bit more cheery, but it's Life is Strange, so probably not. Good night. Good night.